Hello. So this video is going to be a basic introduction of me and then just kind of some key points about the syllabus. Marketing 3660. You guys who are listening to this are going to be the 007 class, not 001. The 001 is my in-person. So what I want to go over today is the professional introduction, kind of who I am professionally, who I am personally, the syllabus, contacting the instructor, class introductions. You guys are going to do that via the forum, and then an exercise. Again, that's more for the in-person class than y'all. So my name is Lydia Jirogi. The last name is Kenyon, for those of you who care. I am a second year in the marketing department. Right now, my emphasis is in sports marketing, and my minor is very likely going to be statistics. So I'm currently working on a couple different research projects, but basically the main thing I'm working on is UNT football and kind of seeing why do we not intend UNT football here. So my undergraduate was in psychology. I did my undergraduate at Middle Tennessee State, so go Raiders. My first master's degree was in sociology, and I did that at East Carolina University. And then my most recent master's was in psychology, and that's at Emporia State. So go Hornets. We actually made it to the quarterfinals, I think, in football last year, so very proud of that. I grew up in Denton. I actually lived here until 1999, and then I moved away for family and all that other stuff. I have one brother who is a professor of accounting at another university. I have two dogs, and I think you guys will probably get tired of hearing about my dogs by the end of this semester. And then I also enjoy sewing. So one thing I thought you guys might find kind of interesting, this is actually the last house that I lived in 99 before I left. So you can actually find this house near campus if you care to look. This was when I was an exchange student in Japan. I did breakdancing. This is a quilt I made for a friend. Your friend's daughter, and then of course my dogs, my Chihuahua and my German Shepherd. So I think the key thing that I want to make sure that we emphasize in this class is classroom behavior. Electronics is not for you guys because you guys are all going to be using electronics. Grading, university policies, and how you contact me. So I'm going to exit out of this and go over to this file. So one of the things that I want to be very clear on is, who I am, how you can get a hold of me, that sort of thing. So you already see what my name is. My office is in the BLB 323B. My office hours are 11 to 2 on Tuesday and Wednesday from 4 to 6 p.m. My email address is in the syllabus. You can find it. I would not in any way encourage you to call me because that phone number actually just goes straight to the department. So if you want to call and you want to leave a message, more power to you, but it will be a while before you hear back from me. Email is by far the most effective, most efficient way to get a hold of me. So we're 3 hours, it's an online classroom, and you will need the book. So I cannot emphasize enough the likelihood that you will not pass this class if you don't have the book, but some people, they want to give it a shot, and that's your decision. And last is the prerequisite is 3650. If you haven't taken 3650, it shouldn't be in this course. So, course details, you can see this is from the course catalog, kind of the core objectives. For me personally, one of the big things I would like to emphasize when I go through things, I really want you to be able to walk away from this class and have a good idea of what it was you did and why you did it. So I'm more concerned with the big picture, if you will, and so it's going to be really important for me to make sure that as we go across these different learning checks and learning objectives, that I give you things that will show me that you actually thought about it and you've actually processed it. Next, you have contacting the instructor. I cannot tell you how quickly this will become an issue. I am a stickler for having very detailed, specific subject lines on emails. If you do not include this information on all of your emails, you will get no response from me. What will happen is if this information isn't in there, it will go to a junk folder and it will never see the light of day again. So if you want to hear back from me, and usually I will get emails turned around pretty quickly, make sure you have the correct subject line. I've got another example I'll show you in a little bit about how to contact me. The other key thing that's going to be important for this class is classroom behavior and etiquette. Because it's an online class, it seems a little different, but what's really important is when we have the forum, we have discussions, we have activities, that you understand that while this may be an online medium, that you still have to have a certain level of etiquette and respect for other people's opinions. So if I see at any point comments that are clearly attacking a person rather than an idea, you will immediately lose all points for that assignment, that activity. Whatever it is that we're doing, if it's worth any points at all, you will get 0 points for that. So I cannot tell you how important it is to me that we are respectful of each other's ideas. It does not in any way mean you have to agree with everyone, but it does mean that you need to at least try to articulate why you think the idea is not as good as it could be, rather than telling someone, well, you're just dumb for thinking that. That is completely unacceptable. Next is grades. I'm sure that's the main thing that you guys care about. So what you have is 4 different items. You have attendance, which seems strange because we're in an online class. Then we have the discussion and activity. We have quizzes, and we have a final project. So for the attendance, each week you'll have a little mini assignment that you do. Basically, you'll go in, you'll look at the sheet that I've already posted on Blackboard, see what it asks you to do for that week, and then you'll go post it. Because all 16 weeks are already available, you can actually go ahead and just collect all the information if you want to. Just don't post it until that week. If you post it early or you post it late, you will get no points. You have to post it during the time that it's due. And I will say the other thing is they're set up to, I mean, realistically, they should take you 5 minutes tops. But I mean, if you're a slow Googler or you just, want to take your time and be more thorough, they could take up to 15 minutes. But it's again, it's just kind of an attendance check to make sure that you're participating in the course. The discussion/activity is also a weekly thing. And so each week on Monday, I will make that information available to you, and you can go in and just participate and kind of post whatever relevant material there is to that. So this week, if you go into the course content and the folder for discussion, you'll see that there are 4 different items listed for you to be able to get credit for this week's discussion. So I also just posted a video there for you to show you how to change your avatar, since it's one of the things you need to do. The quizzes, there will be no exams in this course. Every week you'll have a quiz, and that's what we'll be doing to kind of check, make sure that you're staying with the reading, but there are no exams. It'll just be quizzes. So each week you'll have a 15-question quiz. You have 10 minutes to complete it. So that means you need to have read and taken notes and really kind of learned the material, not just randomly saying, okay, I'm going to take it, I have an hour. You don't have that much time. You need to actually know the material before you start the quiz. You'll have 2 attempts. So if the computer eats one of them, then that's fine because you'll have a second attempt. If the computer doesn't eat one of them, I will always take the highest of the 2 grades. That will be what will be used for your grade, the final computation of your grade. The other thing that I want to point out to you, though, is this little clause right here. Some of you may not be familiar with this, but when Blackboard has scheduled maintenance, it will automatically kick you out of the system. Doesn't care where you're at, doesn't care why you're doing what you're doing, but from 11 p.m. on Saturday until 2 a.m. on Sunday, that it will kick you out. So make sure not to start your quiz if it's going to run into that time, or don't start your quiz during that time because you may be able to get in, but it may kick you out or not save your information during that time. So it's just kind of a friendly heads up. Extra credit. It is very likely that you guys will have up to 3 different opportunities for extra credit. After 3, that gets a little much. But typically what happens is people who are doing research need participants, and so I'll end up just posting a link in the extra credit section for you guys to access that. One thing that's very important to let you know, if you do not wish to participate in the research, that you may request an alternative assignment, which will typically be an essay. So just kind of keep that in mind. Finally is the project. So the project is going to be 4 parts, and you will complete this in groups of 3, not 2, not 4, 3. And you'll go on after kind of seeing everyone's introductions and whatnot, select your members, form your groups, and then pick your company. And I will post a list of approved companies for you to pick from. But basically, every 4 weeks, you're going to have 1 part that'll be due. So this first week, of course, is part 1, and it's basically just introducing or understanding your company. Part 2 is selecting your consumer, kind of the whole idea of segmentation, targeting, positioning, that sort of thing, and so on. So you can read through this and see the rest of the information. The other key thing that's really important is knowing that Wednesday the 7th is the due date to turn in the information about your team, who's in it, what their contact information is, and your company. After that time, on the 8th, I will automatically go in and randomly assign people to groups. So if you want to not be assigned, then pick your groups and get it done quickly. If you just want to be kind of shoved in with people who, you may or may not jive, then that's what will happen if you don't get it done by the 8th. And the final thing, there will be teammate evaluations. So if you get negative team evaluations or are removed from your group or asked to leave, this may negatively affect your grade. So just be cognizant of that. General university policy is academic integrity, basically, if you're caught cheating, and it kind of details what it means for cheating and all the different things. But it just kind of shows what happens if you get caught cheating. Behavior of students. This one is not terribly applicable for an online class, but something you should still be mindful of. One thing that's very important to me is ADA/ODA. If you have an ODA statement or you have any questions about ODA, please do not hesitate to talk to me and let me know what's going on. My understanding is typically it doesn't act retroactively. So if you have an ODA form, you need to get it turned in as quickly as possible, because if you take 3/4 of the class and then you get an ODA form, you're not going to be able to go back in and take all the other stuff with whatever accommodations the ODA deemed necessary for you. At the end of the class, we'll have the spot evaluations, basically your chance to give feedback. So November 21st to the 8th is typically when they'll go out. And then Succeed at UNT, basically make sure that you get support, that there are a handful of people who want to make sure to reach out to you, make sure you get what you need, so that way we can get you graduated and get you placed. And then here is the course schedule. So you can see the start date, the end date of that week, the content for that week, and then what to do that week. So A1 is attendance 1, quiz 1 is quiz 1, and then discussion or activity 1. So each week you can see exactly what's due. And then every 4 weeks, you will have a part of your assignment due. And then, let's see, the final complete project is due, of course, the last week of classes during finals week. And then you have the syllabus contract. Just fill this out and submit this, I think Sunday is when it's due. But this just kind of gives me a chance to get to know a little bit more about you in a not public setting, since I know the forms can be a little bit intimidating. But the other big thing is looking at, what do you guys want to know? Why are you in this class? And what things can I do to make sure that you guys get the most bang for your buck out of this class? Because, while I'm teaching it, I kind of have an idea of where I want to go, but it'd be really nice to get input from y'all to make sure that we're both going in the same direction. So if y'all have any questions about any of this content, please feel free to contact me, and have a great day.